We just saw the performance. Okay, good. Did you enjoy the performance? That's great. Okay. So this I'm teaching about the how to understanding your inner part of the body through with the mudra. In my traditions, it is vast different than how you think about the mudra. So, everybody thinking about, hand gesture is a mudra. But in my traditions, nothing to do with the hand gestures. It's called the mudra. So that's why I'm saying, if, understanding your bodies and what arise with the gesture, then it's coming from the true natures, from the inner part of the body, then it's called the mudra. So my traditions, I'm from Nepal. And my generations, which is considered as the priest tradition, which is the Buddhist priest, which is back into the 35 generations coming down from my lineage. And they've been practicing as a sadhana, or practicing as a meditation, through which you're understanding your inner part of the body. If you're done understanding yourself, it means understanding your body, there's no way to understanding the world, basically. So in my traditions, there's a many different ways of understanding the body. Because when you think about the body, what do you call the body? You cannot call the hair is the body, so ears, the nose, the eyes, we have fingers, and we have so many things in our body. So when we think about the body means what? Body means combinations of everything is called body. That's why in traditions, like when you say that it's the body, it have to be come together in the form. Otherwise, if you do the gesture, hey, I'm doing the wisdom gesture, look at me, and mind go in other place, what is the point of doing the wisdom gesture? It doesn't mean anything. That's why it have to be come from the minds, and then if you connect it, if you're just sitting with the meditations and I'm doing really yoga meditations, like the mind going in all different directions, then it's not a point. The point is fully aware with your fully aware with your body, and it's bring you into transformations by awareness. Even you just sit for a 2 minutes and it feels with your body in the present. Then if you sit for the hours, mind goes in all different directions, then it's not the point for spending for the hour. But if you sit there, so the idea is, in my tradition, we call the charya dance lineage, which is the priest they bring in as the daily practice. So, and this daily practice in the ancient traditions, they usually stay in the cave, and they even not, mostly like the cave peoples who live in the cave and who meditate in the cave. They never studies any book, they never read anything, they never listen to anything. They just understanding, they listen to their own self and coming to the nature, and their body will be transformed from the nature. That's why it's a move. So in my tradition, that's why I'm saying mudra is not the hand gesture. Mudra is nothing to do with it. Like if you just take a pose and you have a down face or ugly face, or if you have a graceful, gesture, it's make a vast difference on the meanings, what the meanings come out. So that's why if you connect it to the mind and bring it into the daily life, then it became the mudra. So mudra is the same like the yoga too. Mudra and there's no difference with the yoga and mudra in my tradition. Yoga is the inner growth, inner awakenings, the part. That's called yoga in the tradition. And it's come from the yogic people, which is the yogi and the yogini, who live in the cave. And that tradition is coming down, so they have a complete awareness. Once you have a complete awareness, then you become the yoga masters. So in this my tradition is like complete awakenings with your mudras, means, ear have a certain way of recognitions, ear, nose, eyes, all different 5 senses we have. And those 5 senses is the great way to in our body to awakening. So if you have awakens with this 5 senses, and it's bring you to the complete transformations. And also the other part, like you may see, I mean, many, we have they call in my traditions, we have more deities than the human populations in this planet. You can imagine that why we have so much deities. And also my traditions, which is completely Buddhist, which is more like the Vajrayana tradition, which is emptiness. No God, no goddess. But more God and goddess, they have it that way. So tradition to bring you that way is like each and everyone's, we have the minds and we have a body. It's very different than everyone and each one. Even we have twins, brothers and sisters, we always be the difference. So idea is like we have a mind, we need to understanding our mind, and that if you understand it your own mind, you can blend it to everyone. It's so easy to blend it in. So that's why in the traditions, they bring you the little tool to awakenings. They all call the mudra. In my traditions, only if you know the three mudra, the whole world is based on that three mudra. So, and then they expanded that in the three mudra, many different layers of layers. They call it like a kaya mudra, which means a simple way of understanding. Kaya means the body, basically, in the Sanskrit term. So when you see that as body, as I say in the beginning, kaya is what do you call the kaya? What do you call the body? There's so many things. If you go to the inner part of the body, there's zillions of things inside the body. There's no way to count, there's no way to measure, or there's no way to see it at all. There's zillions of things in the body. In Baka, basically, that is speech, which Baka Mudra means speech, with a vibration. You don't basically see, or it's have a vibration, it's make you change to the body. And the mind is there, which is like every little things in the world, it's make your transformations happening in the body. It's called mind. So in this terms, we have only three mudras in my traditions. So kaya is the form. Form means also the object. Anything you see in the planet, it's considered a kaya. And the baka, which is like every forms have their own way of speaking. Like at the microphone. As soon as people see it's a microphone, it's for the sounds. If you see the candles, it's for the light. If you see the cushions, it's for the sitting. So general ways, like any object you see, they call the kaya mudra. So and then the bakas in this terms, baka is every object have a way of speaking. As soon as we see in the mind, then it's a trance to oh, this is a flower, okay, this is for decoration. So they speak inside. But in the tradition, it is just, we call the outer way. What you see, what you're feeling, is done, you're gone, you experience, it's okay. That's more into the outer way. When you go to the inner way, then you have to connect it to everything's in the body. And in the tradition, they say if you know where the hair come from, one piece of hair in your body, where this came from, you will be enlightened. So importance, it's one piece of hair. If you pick there, and you will see that's how painful, how that connected to each nerve with piece of the hair. So that's why the kaya is the whole, if you see outer way, then it doesn't become the meaningful way. Once you get to the inner way, to understanding that my hand is moving here, my body is moving there. If you're understanding that part, it's make you transform in the body. So this we call the baka, which is you don't really see with our naked eyes, but you can feel with this. So if you have an inner way, then it's just magic things happening there. We call the secret, which is, so you see the object, you connect it with the object, and then you see the transformation is happening, then it will be completely transformed. In my traditions, anything is make you the wisdom, anything make you the sense with a meaningful way. That's called the kaya mudra, or that's called the mudra basically. So, everything's in the planet, it makes sense, but we're just not taking as as the outer way. We take it into a little bit in inner way. It's making you into transformations. When you see these things like at the inner aspect, when you see it into the inner part of the object, then the whole world, we are the same. Then no difference. We didn't see any difference with anything in the planet when you see the object. Every object have to be same element. Then it's our body. Without that object, like you see the flower. Flower doesn't grow itself without air, without fire, without the earth, without space. Flower have to be comes with that all that 5 elements, which is we have in our body. If you don't have an air element, if you don't have a warmness in the body, if you don't have the space in the body, if you don't have the earthiness with the bone in the body, there's no way to be life. So our body is basically the same, with no difference than this flower it is. So the Mudra Yoga is the concept of Mudra is once you awakenings in the part of the body and once you're understanding the inner part of the body and they bring you the mystery, like a mystery or the magic in the body, then we done separating each other because we are in the same elements. We come into the same element. So why we get to fight each other? Why we get disagree with each other? Why we get unhappy each other? Why with that all different things happening in each other? Because we didn't pay attention in the normal time. Most of the time, we didn't pay attention in our body. So if we don't have a pay attention in our body, then we just like at this is mine, this is I wanted, this is all about the ego. That's why in the path, in the learnings of the Dharma, learnings about this mudra, if you take care with the 3 poisons in the body, then it will be completely transformed. Wherever we are, we always stuck with this 3, we call the 3 poisons. They call the raga, dvesa, moha. In the Sanskrit term they use. Raga means that the desire. We always